I'm going to show you a pretty simple trick that I use to remember all of the chords in any given key or mode. The only prerequisite knowledge is going to be knowing your relative major minor substitutions. If you don't know them, that's fine. Just get you a circle of fifths. This is just how I do it. There's no right way to remember these things. I will explain the method in concept first, and then I'll show you a couple worked examples. Caveat this too with this is only going to be helpful if you do kind of folk, traditional music, bluegrass, pop, blues, American rock, hip hop, maybe a little bit of simple jazz, like Dixieland jazz. If you're doing big boy jazz or classical, this is not going to be helpful to you. It's too simplified. But if you're the type of musician that mostly plays in bars and around campfires, this will be plenty useful to get you through the rest of your musical career. So we're going to do the easy ones first, and that's ionian, or true major, mixolydian, aeolian, or true minor, and dorian. The easiest modes to deal with. They're also the most common probably, but they definitely are the most common in folk music, what I play. And in these four modes, everything revolves around the 1, 4, and 5 chord. So you're just going to have to memorize this pattern, but it's pretty easy. Ionian, the major mode, goes major, major, major. Aeolian mode goes minor, minor, minor. Think of mixolydian as the modified version of the major. So this one goes major, major, and then minor. The 5 chords of minor. And your Dorian is a modified minor. It goes minor, major, minor. And then how do you remember what's the 1, 4, and 5 in your key? Well, you could count, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or you can just look at your circle of fifths and remember everything to the right is the 5 and everything to the left is a 4. If you're looking at C, what's your 4? Boom, F. Looking at C, what's your 5? G. Works the same in the minor wheel. If I'm looking at A, what's my 4? D. And what's my 5? E. Okay, but I'm only showing 3 chords for each mode. That's only half of what you got to work with, right? That's the beauty of these modes. The rest of the chords in the key are just the relative swap outs for the 1, 4, 5. So let me show you an example. So let's say you wanted to find all the chords in G major. The root chord obviously is G. G, A, B, C, D. So my 5 is D, which means my 4 has to be C. Double check on your circle of fifths. G, go to the left, C. G, go to the right, D. Now just swap out all the chords for their relatives. I got them memorized at this point, but if you don't, no problem. Just go back to your circle of fifths. G's relative is E minor, C's relative, A minor, D's relative, B minor. Now, that's only 6, and there's 7 chords in every mode. So which one am I missing? Well, I'm missing the letter F sharp, right? You can see I got an A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then G. Whatever one you're missing, that's your diminished chord. And you don't need the diminished chord. At best, it's like an ornamentation. The type of music you and I are playing, just skip the diminished. Now let's do a Dorian. Dorian is a minor mode, so our 1 chord is going to be A minor. Our 5 is E minor. But remember, Dorian has got that major 4. So you plug in a D major. If you used a D minor there, you'd be an A aeolian, right? You'd be an A true minor. Then you just plug in the swap outs. And you're done. You got all the chords. Whatever one is missing, that's your diminished. Most music in the style that you and I are playing is 3-chord trick music or tonic predominant dominant type of music. It just means that the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord are 75% of the song. It's the meat and potatoes of the song. With Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, and Aeolian, if you just kind of play around with the 1, 4, 5 chord and remember to always bring it on home back to the 1, that does it for the Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, and Aeolian modes, which are the most common ones that you're going to hear in the style of music that you and I are playing. Part 2 will be about the weird uncommon modes, which is Locrian, Phrygian, and Lydian.